Good afternoon and welcome to Dr. Pollitt's Hill Junior Stadium on the campus of Thornton Academy. I'm Zach Tarenko here with Jeff Christianberry bringing you some more fall sports action here at Thornton Academy. Today it's a boys varsity soccer matchup between the home team, the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans, and the away team, the South Portland Red Riots. Thornton Academy comes into this game 0-1, lost their first of the season to Marshwood last week. South Portland is 1-0 with a win 4-1 over Cheverus last week as well. Coming into this game, this is a good matchup. TA still trying to get their first win of the season and also getting used to playing with a more younger team. A lot of seniors left last year for Thornton Academy. TA now this year had only 3 returning varsity starters, which is very low. South Portland, on the other hand, has a lot of returning players. Some big names include Jack Dreyfus and Devin Mpinga. You may know him. He was in the Portland Press Herald a few weeks ago as one of the players in Southern Maine to watch this season, and so was the South Portland team in general. They're one of the teams to watch, and they've had a great start so far, only one game in, so we'll have to see how that goes. But Jeff, coming into this game, what is one thing TA has to do to kind of slow down that South Portland offense if they want to stay in this one and make it a competitive contest?
Well, they have the work cut out for them. South Portland comes in with a little bit of experience, and as we've mentioned before, Thornton Academy always with a lot of new players, a lot of international players. You'll hear that theme throughout. I did talk to Coach Carlson earlier today just to kind of get a feel for the team. He says of the guys who step on the field today, only 3 of them have significant varsity time prior to this season for the squad. This is really only the second meaningful game they've ever played together. It'll take some time for them to learn how to play with each other, and that's certainly true in soccer, probably more than any other sport. It's important to it takes a little wit, and they have a lot of new players, a lot of technical skill out on that field, but it's going to take a big effort for them to get some results out of here. So right now we're seeing the starting lineup, so we'll send it down to the field. Athletic Administrator Gary Stevens is doing the opening introductions.
Starting the lineup for South Portland, you see wearing one of the captain's armbands. That is Devin Mpinga.
Oh. I'm interested to see the starting lineup here for Thornton Academy. Again, so many new players. Let's see which ones actually start for them.
CJ Marenhi had 2 goals in their win over Cheverus. You'll be hearing his name as well as Mpinga's name a lot today. And the starting lineup for TA. Rory Bodwin in goal for the Trojans. Jeremiah Gomez.
Gomez was one of those players last year that played a lot.
I recognize some of these players myself, not only from being on the team last year or having some time, but I played with many of these guys on a travel team in Southern Maine the last few years.
So quite a few new names out there and some international flavor, most from Mexico, Spain, and Brazil.
And now we will have the national anthem here at Hill Stadium. Some soccer action about to get underway here. Before we get into it, we want to thank some of our sponsors here on TATV for this 2022-2023 season. I want to thank Packwell and Carroll Insurance, Saco and Bedford Savings, and the Webb Family Law Firm for hosting our pregame show as well as our halftime postgame show. Speaking of the Webb Family Law Firm, if you ever get into trouble here in the fall season or in the winter season or at any time, you can always call the great people at the Webb Family Law Firm and they will help you out. And we also recorded our episode of Trojan Talk, our first episode of this 2022-2023 year at Thornton Academy. We recorded it today. It will be posted, I believe, sometime tomorrow. Don't quote me on that, but
should be.
Yep, should be. So you can listen in. We talked a lot about the NFL and college football getting back into action, as well as some talks about the highly anticipated TA versus Oxford Hills game coming up this Saturday. We'll talk more about that probably later in this game and let you know the times and all that.
Zach, I want to take a look at our upcoming schedule over the next few days.
Speaking of which,
we have Thursday, tomorrow, girls soccer versus Kennebunk. We said Falmouth last night, but it's actually Kennebunk.
Is it Kennebunk?
It is Kennebunk, yes. 6:30 right here at Hill Stadium. It'll be Mr. Pulsifer and Zach on the call for that one. Of course, Saturday, 1:30. Oxford Hills, and then next Wednesday, boys soccer here at 4:30 against Bonnie Eagle. So that's the upcoming schedule. We'll go over that again in the second half, but ready for some action here today.
Mpinga will send it back, and South Portland will start from their defense with the ball. A lot of these defensive players and most of the starting lineup for South Portland was on this team last year. We saw a little bit of them. Trips over the ball, and Gomez hands it off, and now forward to number 10. That's Antonio Pavaya. Gomez will give it back to Jeremiah Chessie, who's playing center back alongside Justin LaBelle. Started the long ball on the far side of the field. It is number 9, Dylan Belmere. And it'll be out of bounds, and now a pickup for Vasco Malero, a senior winger for the Trojans.
Much different atmosphere weather-wise, especially here at Hill Stadium than it was last night for the field hockey game, which was cold.
Gomez, a long shot off the crossbar. Good opportunity for TA early. That one bounces out of bounds, and it'll be a corner.
Wow, that came out of nothing. It had a little dipping action there, hit the crossbar.
Gomez had some space and thought he might as well take a shot. We talked about him just very briefly in the pregame. He was a starter last year for varsity. Had some great minutes for TA, and now is taking up more of a leadership role this year as one of the captains for Thornton Academy. The cross comes in and headed away by South Portland. Then there is LaBelle, who tried to put one back into play, but just too far for Lorenzo Viti. And South Portland will have a goal kick.
Coach Andy Carlson's been at the helm for, almost 20 years. Interesting style, too. He's noticed number 21 on South Portland is kind of going with the sleeveless look. We'll see. I've never seen that before in a soccer field, but...
In the midfield is Griffin Tetzlav, a senior. Now here's Joey Hanlon. Hanlon lost it, taken away by Viti. And in the middle for Harris Stoddard, one of the other captains for Thornton Academy. Stoddard puts it into space for nobody, and now given back up to Drew Foley. And here comes South Portland on their first attack of the game. Lost there by Tetzlav. Julio let it go by, and coming for it was Jake Udomse. Udomse to Hanlon. Hanlon tried to put it through Belmare. He gets it by, and now here's Devin Mpinga. And there goes Hanlon, but LaBelle comes stepping across and clears it out of bounds.
They were using yellow lines.
See some ball boys here for this game, which is very nice to see. Starter gets knocked down by number 5. That was Jack Dreyfus. Starter gets up and seems a little bit winded maybe there, but looks to be okay. LaBelle will send it over on the far side to Thornton Academy. It was taken away by South Portland. Now ball in the air, headed down, and taken away now by Gomez. Gomez tried to step through, could not.
Gomez is going to be the playmaker here this year, Zach. He's going to need to kind of step up and get in that role. We've seen guys like Eric McCollum in the past and a bunch of others to be that real playmaker. And goal scorer we'll see, but definitely needs to be the creator.
Here's Paiva. BT tried to clear, thought it was a handball on Mpinga, but it was not, and he will clear it all the way back to Chessie, who now has time to take a step with it. He gives it off to LaBelle. LaBelle puts it into space for Bellemare. Hanlon not stepping up on Bellemare, tried to put it right through him, and that may have gone off the hand of Hanlon, but it did not, and now South Portland has possession. Here's Julio, and that is a foul on Gomez. Free kick for South Portland near the 43-yard line off that foul by Gomez. Only real offensive chance for either team was off that long hit outside the box by Gomez that went off the crossbar. Both teams just been kind of going back and forth, and there's a couple balls in the air, but now this one taken away by Paiva. Trying to send it back to the middle to Stoddard. He chips it up in the air. That one was headed away by Machak Agawa. And Hanlon and Gomez collided on a hit there. It'll be South Portland throw-in. Here's Julio. That's CJ Marenhi. Back in the midfield, South Portland now trying to put it forward, but Bellemare gets a piece of it and hits it high in the air. This one taken down by Jake Udomse. Hanlon fakes forward and goes back and will send it back all the way to the keeper, Thomas Kayowet. Kayowet clears wide, kept in bounds by South Portland, now trying to move the ball forward and hit up by Emiliano Dominguez. Dominguez to Gomez and out of Stoddard. Stoddard will take a long shot. It got blocked, and Pavai was not there. Now VT takes this one away. VT being very aggressive here on the sidelines with Hanlon trying to get the ball back. And they're going to call a foul on VT for holding the shirt of Hanlon. That'll be another free kick for South Portland. First 7 minutes, not too much action. Both teams trying to be aggressive and get some offensive chances, but a lot of play in the midfield.
Yeah, definitely been tilted toward Thornton Academy's end, but again, just that one long shot chance. It really kind of came from nothing, too.
Pavai could not get that off the heel pass to go. Chessie now trying to fend off Mpinga. Hanlon's tip up to himself was out of bounds. Now Dylan Bellemare. Looks like TA is playing, I believe, a 4-back. It may be a 3-back with 5 in the midfield. And then 2 up top. This one taken away by VT. VT gives it off to Pavai. Pavai tried to get it around, he could not. Here's Mpinga. Mpinga high kick in the air, but no problem there, no dangerous play. And so Bellemare will throw it back to Chessie. Bellemare last year was playing as a midfielder, now playing as a back. Coach Carlson must feel confident in his abilities as a defender. Dominguez thought it was his ball to throw in. It was not. South Portland has it now on the far side of the field. Back is Agawa. Agawa sends a pass to the midfield, tap back off to Agawa, and now here's Marenhi. Gomez has the ball. Gomez tried to pass through. Agawa stepped up with it. Stoddard fighting for it now. Also in the midfield is Amir Palma. And there'll be a foul call on Palma. And now yet another free kick for South Portland. None of these free kicks have really turned into much. South Portland's not trying to send the ball over. That's usually a very common tactic, especially early on for most high school teams, is to play the ball over. That one headed by LaBelle, it headed off, went off the back of his head, and it'll be out of bounds in South Portland ball.
Yeah, really no chances at all for South Portland offensively right now in this first 10 minutes or so.
Now here's Marenhi. Trying to get some space. LaBelle clears out to Pavai. Pavai sending a long ball on the far side. There's Palma. Palma trying to put pressure on. He couldn't get a piece of it. Agawa used his size to his advantage and held it off. And now Kayoret will have a goal kick. And now here comes South Portland.
As always, if you're watching, you can let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, whether what team or player. And even if you're close, just let us know. We'll give you a little shout out on the air if you want.
Belmare steps through, so Mpinga could not get a piece of it. Here's Gomez now going back to Dominguez. Dominguez on the far side. That ball is sent through to Pavai, but it went all the way through. Mpinga here with the ball. Gonna go back for it. Jake Udomse to Marenhi.